ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पाशातिदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So, we are reading from Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu, written by Srila Rupa Goswami and commented by Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So, we are looking into the first section of Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu, which has 4 sections. And within the first section, we are looking at second chapter. First section has 4 chapters, and second chapter is quite huge. We have already read 224 verses in the second chapter. Now we are reading from 225. So, which is also talking about the 60th Anga. So, we have completed 59 Angas of Bhakti, or limbs of devotional service. There are 64. Now, the last 5, which are very important. Rupa Goswami himself will glorify the last 5 Angas of Bhakti. And we'll look at it. Ata Shri Murtehe Angri Sevane Pritihi Yatha Adi Purane. So, affection for serving the feet of the deity. So, worshipping the deity. So, that is the first item in the last 5. Last 5 are very important. And this is the first item. That's serving the deity. An example is given from Adi Purana. Mama nama sadagrahi, mama seva priyaha sada, bhakti tasmai pradatavya natu mukti katachana. Mama nama sadagrahi. So one who chants the holy name of Krishna. So Krishna is speaking. So mama nama sadagrahi. So one who chants my name all the time. Mama seva priyaha sada. One who is attached to my seva, my service all the time. And to that person, I give bhakti. Bhakti tasmai pradatavya. I give him bhakti. Bhakti here means prema. I give him prema. Natu mukti kadachana. I don't give him liberation. So if you are aiming for liberation from this world, don't follow the path of bhakti, because he does not give. Anyways, so Jiva Goswami clarifies it. Seva priyaha means seva eka purusharthakasan. So they seva, those who are like attached to service to the Lord, means those who consider service to the Lord as the only purushartha, only ultimate goal of life. We have 4 purusharthas: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So dharma, artha, kama, all these 3 are material. Moksha is beyond this material world. But that's not the purushartha for the people who are attached to the service of the devotees. What is the purushartha? Service itself is the purushartha. That is the ultimate goal of life. For them, Krishna gives only bhakti, not mukti. So we will be wondering, oh, we are stuck in this material world. What to do? No. Jiva Goswami says, mukti atra bhakti shunya nyeya. So mukti here means that mukti which does not have any bhakti. So we know that from Bhagavatam there are 5 types of mukti. Sayujya, Sarshti, Sharupya, Samipya, and Sarupya, Samipya,
Salokya. Salokya.
Salokya. Thank you. Salokya. So we have 5 types of mukti. And out of that, Sayujya, or merging into the form of the Lord, or merging into the impersonal form of the Lord, that does not have any mukti. That does not have any bhakti. But the rest 4 has bhakti within it. So the devotees will attain rest to four, but not the mukti, which does not have any bhakti toward the Lord. So when Krishna says that I will not give mukti anytime, means I will not give the mukti which does not have bhakti to the Lord. Okay. So then next one is Atha Shri Bhagavata Artha Aswadaha Yatha Pratame. The second important anga of bhakti is Bhagavata Artha Aswadaha. Tasting the meaning of Bhagavatam. It is not reading. Bhagavata Artha Pataha. It is not like that. Or Patanam. It is not like that. It is Aswadaha. Tasting it. Right? Yatha Pratame. From the first canto, very well known verse. Radhakunda Mataji can recite that.
Yeah, Prabhu. Nigmakalpataroर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखाद् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसम् आलयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. Very nice.
Okay, thank you. So we will look at the meaning of the verse through the commentary of Jiva Goswami. So we'll relish it more. Hey Bhavukaha. So first, this is the address. Bhavuka. Bhavuka means, oh, the Bhavukas. So what is the meaning of Bhavuka? Parama Mangala Ayanaha. So those who are the path for those who are the auspicious path. That is the devotees. So the devotees are the auspicious path for others, or those who are following the auspicious path. That is the path of bhakti. They are following the auspicious path, or they themselves become the path for others, which means that if I need to go to Krishna, I have to go through the devotee. I cannot go to anyone else. So those are called bhavaka. It comes from the word bhavaka. Bhavaka means auspicious. Those who are the auspicious path for others, or those who are following the auspicious path. Hey, rasikaha. Then they are also called rasikas. What does rasika mean? Rasika literally means those who know rasa. That is what is rasika. Bhagavat Priti Rasajnaha. They know the Bhagavat Priti Rasa. That is the prema for the Lord. The rasa that is arising out of prema for the Lord, not the material rasa. Rasika can mean, you can take like, the materially who are relishing it. He is a rasika, we say. He is a relisher. Or, he is a relisher. We can say like that. But here it means that those who are relishing the rasa that is arising out of the prema for the Lord. Bhagavat Priti Rasajnaha Ityartaha. ते यूयं वैकुण्ठात् क्रमेण भुवि पृथ्व्याम् एव गलितम् अवतीर्णं निगमकल्पतरोः सर्वफल उत्पत्ति भुवः शाक उपशाखाभिः वैकुण्ठमपि आध्यारूढस्य वेदरूपतरोः यत् खलु रसरूपं श्रीभागवताख्यं तत् खलु तत् श्रीभागवताख्यं फलं तत् भुवि अपि स्थिताः पिबत. So it's a very long sentence. Let's break it down. So te yuyam, you look at it last. So Vaikuntat Kramena Bhuvi Prithvyam Eva Galitam Avatiranam Nigama Kalpataroho. So from the Nigama is Veda. Kalpataru means the desire tree. Desire tree, you stand in front of a desire tree, you ask for anything, it will just grant you that wish. That is what a Kalpa Vriksha, desire tree. The Vedas are like the desire tree. Whatever you look for in that, you want material things, you can go to Vedas. You want spiritual things, you can go to the Vedas. You want mukti, you can go to the Vedas. You want to harm somebody, you can go to the Vedas. There are some chants in the Atharva Veda where you can just, do harmful things to the others. Anything you can get from Vedas. That is the Kalpataru. Sarva phala utpatti bhuvaha. So this gives any fruit you want all the fruits. From that tree, the fruit has fallen from Vaikuntha. So the Vedas have multiple branches. And through that multiple branches, it has climbed to the Vaikuntha, which means particular paths are leading you to Vaikuntha. So from that Vaikuntha, the branch which is there in the Vaikuntha planet, from there, the fruit is falling down. It fell down to the earth. That is what Nigama Kalpataroho Galitam Phalam Sukamot. Yeah. So the Galitam Phalam, the fruit which has come down to this material, to this world. Bhuvi. Bhuvi means in the world, in this Bhumandala. So in the Bhumandala, though you are situated, you devotees are situated in this Bhumandala, you can taste the fruit which is there in Vaikuntha. So this is referring to Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam, it actually belongs to Vaikuntha. But being situated here, that Bhagavatam has descended from Vaikuntha and it has come here. From here, being situated here, you taste that. How it has come here? Shaka upashaka bihi. By multiple branches. This is another meaning you can take. That whether the Vedas have branches and sub-branches growing up to Vaikuntha, or from the Vedas through the branches and sub-branches, it has come down to the earthly planet, which means through the parampara, which is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will give. Okay. So then rasam is given. So it is an adjective to Bhagavatam. It is describing Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam itself is called rasa. It is a form of rasa. It is to be tasted. Rasa literally also means juice. You have to taste the juice fully. Asvadya antargatam kuruta. So pibata here means drink. So when you are taking a juice, you drink that. But here, when you take from the Bhagavatam side, you internalize the meaning. That is what pibata means. You internalize it, not just superficially reading it. You read it and then you internalize it. Antargatam kuruta. Aho iti alabhya labha vyanjana. So here the word aho is used. Aho means oh, like that. Why is that word used? Because Bhagavatam, which is situated in Vaikuntha, how can you drink from being situated in this world? You cannot. You cannot obtain that. But you have obtained it. So it is wonderful. It is Ashcharya. It's a very wonderful thing that has happened. So that is why the word aho is mentioned. Bhagavatakyam yat shastram tatkalu rasavat api rasa ekamayata vivakshaya rasa sabdena nirdishtam. So Bhagavatam can contain rasa, right? But here Bhagavatam itself is glorified as rasa. If it says Bhagavatam rasavat means Bhagavatam which contains rasa. But here the word rasavat is not used. Rather the word rasa is used. But the means Bhagavatam itself is rasa. Full of rasa, full of the spiritual rasa, or you can say full of juice, like that. So usually when we have a fruit, we crush the fruit and we take out the juice. The fruit itself is not the juice. But here the fruit itself is the juice. Pibata it says palam, fruit, but drink the fruit. How can you drink the fruit? Here it is like that. It is a fruit that you can still drink it. It's Bhagavatam is like that. So Bhagavatam is in the form of rasa itself fully. I'll skip the next verse, which is basically talking about the Sanskrit. I'll skip the next part, which is talking about Sanskrit meaning of the word Bhagavata. Sahacha rasaha bhagavad bhaktimayaha eva. So here rasa, it is called rasa because it is full of bhakti. We'll look at the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 177. Yeah. Yasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne paramapurushe bhaktihi utpadyate pumsaha so shoka moha bhaya apaha. Simply by giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, the feeling for loving devotional service to Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sprouts up at once to extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion, and fearfulness. Yasyam, it is referring to Bhagavatam, because in the previous verse it is mentioned that Vyasadeva has written Bhagavatam after he has sit in his samadhi. After he has come out of his samadhi, he has written Bhagavatam. And that Bhagavatam, when you are hearing that Bhagavatam, what happens? Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktihi. Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto him Bhakti Utpadyate. The Bhakti comes out from the human beings, or the human, for us, all of us. And what that does Bhakti do? Shoka Moha Bhaya Apaha. So it removes shoka, sadness, moha, illusion, bhaya, fearfulness. It removes all of these things. So here that verse is mentioned to show that Bhagavata is full of bhakti. Why? Because by hearing it, you are actually developing bhakti. So Bhagavatam itself is composed of bhakti alone. The word rasa is also used for the Lord as well. Yanmayatvena eva Shri Bhagavati Rasashabdaha Shutau Prayujyate Raso Vaisaha. So in the Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a statement called Raso Vaisaha. That is, he is Rasa. He refers to the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is Rasa. Rasam hi evayam labdva anandi bhavati. Obtaining that rasa, you become happy. So obtaining the Supreme Lord, you become happy. The word rasa is also used for the Lord. So Bhagavatam describes about the Lord. So in that way also you can take Bhagavatam, which describes about the Lord. And then you attain the Lord through Bhagavatam. तत्र रसिकाः इत्यनेन प्राचीन अर्वाचीन संस्काराणामेव तद् विज्ञत्वं दर्शितम्. So how can you know the Lord? You can only know the Lord by having a long impressions in your heart. That means prachina and arvachina. Prachina means previous, very, very ancient. Arvachina means new. Sanskara. You have to have that impression. So for a long time, you have that impression about the Lord, about bhakti, about Bhagavatam, everything in your heart. By that impression, then you can realize the Lord. Galitam iti anena tasya supaktrimatvam muktva shastrapakshe nishpanna artatvam adhika swadatvam cha darshitam. So here the word Galitam is mentioned. So it has become very ripened. That is what is mentioned. The fruit has become ripened. So the whole verse is talking about two things. One is about the fruit, the another thing about Bhagavatam. One is about the fruit, the another thing is about Bhagavatam. So for the fruit, Galitam means it is very, very ripened. For Bhagavatam, it means that it brings out the meanings of the Vedic literature very nicely, very clearly. And it is very tasty as well in Bhagavatam. You can read other works, but it's not that tasteful that what you see in Bhagavatam. And it is not as clear as what you see in Bhagavatam. Rasam ityanena phalapakshe tvaga ashti adirahityam vyajya atra cha pakshe heya angsa rahityam darshitam. Now, by mentioning rasa or juice, what does it say? From the fruit side, the fruit itself is a juice. What does that even mean? Fruits is a juice. That means it does not have a skin. It does not have seed. If it does not have skin, if it does not have seed, and it does not have hardness, then what it is? It is juice. Like that, Bhagavatam does not have all lowly things. Everything is superior. Here, Bhagavatam. All that the hindrances like seed, skin, you don't need to remove everything to figure it out. It itself is juice. You can just simply drink it directly. Tata nigamakalpataroho palatva uktya tasya paramapurushartatvam darshitam. So by mentioning that this is a fruit of the Vedic desire tree. So the whole essence of a tree is actually the fruit. So out of a whole tree, what people desire? The fruit of the tree. So similarly, the whole Vedic literature, the fruit of the tree is very much desired, and that is what is highly praised, and that shows its glorious nature. So therefore, Bhagavatam is also talking about the highest Purushartha one can attain. एवं तस्य रस आत्मक फलस्य स्वरूपतः अपि वैशिष्ट्ये सति परम उत्कर्ष बोधनार्थं वैशिष्ट्यांतरमाह शुक इति. So let's open this verse side by side so that we look at the verse here. So though by its own nature, because Bhagavatam contains rasa, it is itself is glorious. You don't need to talk about anything else. But still, to show its even more glorious nature, the word Shukamukat, etc. is used. So it came from Shuka. अत्र फलपक्षे कल्पतरुवासित्वात् अलौकिकत्वेन शुकः अपि अमृतमुखः अभिप्रेयते ततः तन्मुखं प्रापे यथा तत् फलं विशेषतः स्वाद् भवति तथा परम भागवतमुखसम्बन्धं भगवत् वर्णनम् अपि. So when a tree, when a parrot is living in a tree, usually the parrot eats the fruit of the tree. So think about the parrot which is living in the Kalpavriksha or desire tree. It will get all the tasty fruits. So by eating the tasty fruit throughout its life, its beak has become very sweetened. And with that beak, it goes and picks up a fruit. And if you get that fruit, that's even more tastier because the beak, which has eaten only the tasty fruits in that tree, and when it touches another fruit, that fruit becomes more tastier. Similarly, the devotees who are being gloriously mentioned in Bhagavatam, by that, and it comes from Shuka. Shuka is like a parrot, or is Shukadeva Goswami. So Shukadeva Goswami, from his mouth it has come, so it becomes more and more tastier. तथा तादृश परम भागवत वृंद महेंद्र श्री शुकदेव मुख संबंधम किमुत इति भावः. So when a normal devotee describes, normal devotee here means Parama Bhagavata, when a Prema Bhakta, when a great devotee, when he describes Bhagavatam, it becomes even more sweeter. Then what to speak of Parama Bhagavata Vrinda Mahendra, the Mahendra, the great king of all the great devotees. When he speaks Bhagavatam, then how much more sweeter it can be. When a great devotee describes Bhagavatam, it will be very sweet. Then what to speak of the king of all the great devotees? When he speaks, how much sweeter it is going to be. That is the meaning here. अतएव परम स्वाद परम काष्ठा प्राप्तत्वात् स्वतः अन्यतः च तृप्तिः अपि न भविष्यति इति आलयं मोक्षानन्दमपि अभिव्याप्य पिबत. So the word alayam is used here. So because it has this great taste and all your desires will be fulfilled in this Bhagavatam, you are not going to get satisfaction anywhere else. Don't think there is some other Purana where if I read, I'll get very much satisfaction. No, there is nothing else is available. This only is very, very, very sweet. Not only other Puranas, nowhere else you are going to find out in this world any sweetness like Bhagavatam. Even in moksha also you are not going to find out. Therefore, even if you attain moksha, you continue to drink Bhagavatam. That is why it's mentioned alaya. Laya means destruction, which means destruction of your gross body and subtle body. So what is that? That is moksha. Laya means moksha. Alaya means even after attaining that liberation state, continue to drink. We have the word Abrahma Bhuvana Loka Punaravartino Arjuna. Abrahma Bhuvana Loka. Even if you go to Brahma Loka, Abrahma Bhuvana, Abrahma. So A means including that, until that, extending to that, right? So similarly, even if you have attained the happiness of moksha, still you continue to drink that because you won't find satisfaction anywhere else, not even in moksha, as much as satisfaction you find in Srimad Bhagavatam. Tathacha vakshate parinishtatah api nairgunye. Therefore, this verse 219 is mentioned. Parinishtatah api nairgunya uttama shloka leelaya grihita chetaha rajarishe akyanam yat adhitavan. So, Sukadeva Goswami speaking about himself. He says that I have been fixed in the nairgunya, this transcendental nature. That is, he is fixed in Brahman. Though he is already fixed in Brahman, which means he is liberated. Though he is liberated by the pastimes described in the Bhagavatam by Vyasa, by hearing that pastime, my heart has been attracted. And then I came back and then I studied Bhagavatam. So Shukadeva Goswami left home as soon as he was born. And then Vyasadeva, what did he do? He sent his disciples into the forest where Shukadeva Goswami is sitting and then asked them to recite Bhagavatam. So when the disciples recited Bhagavatam in front of him, it broke his samadhi and then he got very much attracted by it. And hearing that, he came back to study Bhagavatam to Vyasa again. So that's what he says. Even though he was liberated, he got attracted by Bhagavatam. So don't think that it is only for this material world. Even you attain liberation, you are going to study Bhagavatam. You are going to taste Bhagavatam. Study means little bit, people will be afraid, but it is tasting Bhagavatam. Anena aswadya antaravanna idam kalantare api aswadaka bahulya api vyayishyati iti api darshitam. So it contains so much taste. So usually when a fruit is having a lot of taste, what happens when the time passes? The fruit becomes dry, old, and then loses its taste. But here, Bhagavatam, it's not going to happen. When the time passes, you're not going to lose its taste. It's continuing to taste the same. Aswadaka Bhagulya. When there are so many people contending for a fruit, and then they are taking their own shares of the fruit, what will be left? Nothing will be left. So which means the fruit has lost its taste. But here, the more and more devotees are coming and tasting it, still, it's not going to lose its taste. It's going to contain as it is. That's what Jiva Goswami is saying. Yadva tatra tasya rasasya bhagavat pritimaye tve api dvaividyam. Or the word alaya means, there is another meaning he gives. In the prema of the Lord, in the affection for the Lord, when you have prema for the Lord, there are two types of prema. One is tatpriti upayuktatvam, that you actually are established in prema for the Lord, and you are exchanging rasa with the Lord. The another one is tatpriti parinamatvam, that is, you are developing the rasa. So laya means, consider it's the stage of liberation, which is for the devotees, it is actually you have attained prema. So alaya means until that, including that, which means the sadhaka devotees as well as the sadhya devotees. It includes all of them, all of these devotees. So Bhagavatam has descriptions of all of these devotees, sadhaka devotees and sadhya devotees, or sadhya means who have accomplished already. That is why in Bhagavatam, 12th canto, it is mentioned. Let's go to this verse 14. Radhakunda Mataji, you can recite this.
Kathaimaste kathitha mahiyasham vitaya lokeshu yasha pareyusha vignana vairagya vivakshaya vibho vacho vibhutirna tu paramadhyam.
Just for the interest of time, let's read through the translation. Sukadeva Goswami said, "O mighty Parikshit, I have related to you the narrations of all these great kings who spread their fame throughout the world and then departed. My real purpose was to teach transcendental knowledge and renunciation. Stories of kings lend power and opulence to these narrations, but do not in them constitute the ultimate aspect of the knowledge." So here it talks about the great kings or the sadhaka devotees. Bhagavatam talks about them. They are not the sadhya, they are not the goal. They are the sadhakas, how they are attaining the goal. Huh? The goal is to talk about Krishna here, Bhagavatam, but they are also talking about, the Bhagavatam is also talking about the sadhaka devotees as well. The next verse mentions, the person who desires pure devotional service to Lord Krishna should hear the narrations of Lord Uttama Shloka's glorious qualities, the constant chanting of which destroys everything inauspicious. The devotee should engage in such listening in regular daily assemblies and should also continue his hearing throughout the day. So here it contains both. One is the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, which includes the devotees who are accomplished, and the other is about the sadhaka devotees. Bhagavatam contains both. So we'll continue from here next week. There are 2 more paragraphs to complete, and it has a lot of quotations. Let's not rush through it. Any questions, comments, thoughts?
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. It is so nice. I need to listen one more time, actually. It is so deep.
Yeah. It's I think it's a lot of Sanskrit. Maybe I should reduce a little bit Sanskrit.
No, Prabhuji. No, it is so good. Please don't reduce. Yeah, it is so good. Yeah, but listening one more time really helps us understanding better. So
Thank you.
Yes, I'm so happy for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Madhuri.
Thank you very much for this nectarian about description about Bhagavatam, Prabhu. It is already nectarian, and it is when we hear from Shukhamukha, it becomes nectarian. Now we are hearing from your mouth.
Oh,
It is
Prabhu.
really nectarian, Prabhu. Thank you so much. It is very beautiful.
Thank you, Radha Prabhu. Sometimes you have, you know how to pull on jokes.
No. I'm serious, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam Jai Shri Prabhu. Thank you so much for giving this lecture series. Is this something new which you started? Is the Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu series?
Oh, we have started a long time back. We are almost like more than a year or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering why Bhagavatam is being glorified, the verses are being discussed here. Like, what was the context?
So the context is that we are reading Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu. So in the Bhakti-rasāmṛta-sindhu, in the second chapter, 64 angas of bhakti or limbs of devotional service is mentioned. 64 ways you can perform devotional service. And we are looking at now the last 5. We have completed 59. So the 60, 61, 62, 63, 64 we are reading. So the last 5 angas are, the first anga is deity worship. Second anga is listening to Bhagavatam or tasting the meaning of Bhagavatam. That is also devotional service. And that's one of the great devotional service. So here we are reading about the glories of Bhagavatam in that context.
Okay, so the 5 important angas that we are discussing. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really like the description which you mentioned about it is coming out of the mouth of a parrot who has tasted all the fruits of the Kalpavruksha tree, like that. I never heard that kind of narration description. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you very much, Pradyuman Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Shankaran Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances.
So, thank you very much for reminding that beautiful verse from Bhagavatam. And, somehow I had also heard about, I don't know, I just want to confirm it. I had also heard that parrots have a good sense of figuring out which fruit is actually sweeter. So they beak only, pierce only a sweet fruit. It will not pierce any other fruit. So therefore, it says, whenever you see a mango, especially bitten by a parrot, you can take it for granted it's bound to be sweet.
Yeah, I have heard this explanation from my grandmother as well, Prabhu. She used to buy the fruit, which is actually, picked by a bird, like the parrot or something like that. So she says this is very sweeter or something. Yeah.
Same thing, Prabhu. I grew up in a small village, or I was studying near Shirdi, if you remember that, Rahata. So I used to go stay with my grandparents, my maternal grandparents. So as a kid, we used to pick guavas from tree. So we always used to look for guavas, fruits which were touched by the parrot. They had lots of parrots there, and that time they were really sweet guavas that time. So I just remember that. So
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Shankarananda Prabhu, for bringing out that.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll stop here. Hare Krishna. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनन्तकोटिवैष्णवं की